You were a little ham even from a young age, I'm guessing?
I was a little ham. I guess you think I'm a big ham now. I guess that's where that's going. Well, I knew I wanted to be in the theater, so I started the Portland, Maine. I love talking about Portland. This is so cool. This I do remember. I started at the Portland, Maine Children's Theater. Chuck Dowdy was the artistic director, and it was in a little fire hall, I believe, up on where the Maine Medical Center is. I hope I've got all that right. And then I took acting classes at the Portland, Maine Museum of Art. There were acting classes. I was 9. And then I took from Dorothy Mason School of Dance. I took piano lessons, God bless her, from Pat Morneau, all around the same time, between 9 and 12.
So you wanted to do it all. You wanted to sing, you wanted to dance, you wanted to act, the whole thing.
I don't really know what the motivating factor was to do all of it, because I certainly didn't know what it was like to make it big time. I didn't know what it was like to be outside of Portland. I didn't know where it was going to lead, but in the moment it made me happy.
Do you remember the first production you ever did that was not a school production?
I do. It was Cinderella, and I played the fairy godmother, and it was at the Portland, Maine Children's Theater, and they used to have a, gosh, I don't know what you would call it, like almost like a trailer, and the side of it would go down, and we would perform in Deering Oaks. How about that? I've never ever been able to remember all of this. Please come to my apartment tonight so I can write my book.
I'm just going to keep jogging your memory here. How about when you were in high school, productions that you did outside of school? So you would have been perhaps working with adults and with people who were pretty serious about local theater?
The first thing, the professional show that I did was a New York touring company of South Pacific. And they cast locals for the small parts. And I was cast in the part of Liat, and she was supposed to be a Polynesian girl. I'm Armenian. That's the closest they came to Polynesian in Maine. I don't think is there a big Polynesian community in Maine? I don't think so.
Still not
But
one.
there's a big Armenian population. So I auditioned, I got the part, and we performed at the Kennebunkport Playhouse, which no longer exists. Ogunquit, though, is flourishing.
Right.
But Kennebunkport was a fabulous summer theater at the time, and it's no longer going on.
Was that quite a high for you to be able to do that and work with professionals?
That was really when I got, that's probably the real bite of, gosh, you mean I can be around professional actors and maybe this can lead to something else. I didn't know that it would translate into a career, but I knew that it felt comfortable and safe, and I felt really at home. I knew that it meshed with my personality. Yeah.
Even when an actor makes a commitment to acting, it doesn't mean that you're going to have a career, because it's so unstable, uncertain, insecure. At what point did you say to yourself, finally, I think I can make a career out of this. This is what I'm going to do for good?
Yeah, I never said I think I can make a career out of it. I thought, so I did summer stock, and I did summer stock every summer after that, at Ram Island. There was a summer stock there, and Deer Trees in Harrison, Maine. So I really paid my dues in Maine, and it was beautiful. So that's really, just every summer I would do summer stock, and I loved it. And then the natural extension was, I guess you go, it was always, well, I guess the next thing you do is you go to college, and I went to Emerson, I got a degree in theater, and then I thought, well, I guess the next thing you do is go to New York and audition. And I did, and within 2 weeks I got my equity card for You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And then one thing led to another.
Did your parents encourage you?
No, they didn't. But we don't want this to turn into something ugly after it's been so beautiful, do we?
No.
No, you know what? They didn't, they were proud of me. But, my parents are both Armenian, and my dad, so the most important thing for my parents really was to assimilate into the culture of Maine. And I think to have their little girl be an actress didn't sound like that was an easy definition of assimilation. And so although they were proud, I don't think it seemed like the traditional way for a kid in America to make it. But of course they were proud of me.
I can remember eating at your dad's restaurant, John Martin's Art Gallery, on Center Street.
I love that. That's so sweet. Which was the art gallery? Was that one? Oh, that was so. You know what my mom did in that place? It was called the Art Gallery, and she would put all the artists' paintings on the walls at my dad's restaurant, and then people would buy them. That was a great contribution
I
she
can
made.
remember it was very unusual for the time, and it was just
exactly.
boom, 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 boom,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Oh, that's so nice. My dad was a great, he was full of hospitality. It was a great, great profession for him, the restaurant business. And he made the best popovers. Nobody's ever made better popovers, I think.